Welcome everyone to the L7C podcast Dragon Ball edition. We are back for the first Dragon Ball episode of 2023. If you've been listening to the L7C, you saw we made our triumphant return to Dragon Ball at the end of December, and now we are back with the weekly manga. And we have the Dragon Ball expert, Mr. Mitch Oso. How are you doing today, sir?
Well, fantastic. How about yourself, as always?
I'm doing well. I'm doing well. You've already had an episode already this year where you teamed up with Jacob and Byron to talk about some Vince McMahon and some first time sports betting thing. But I will say, since it is your individual episode, happy New Year.
Yep. Happy New Year to you as well, man. Don't get into gambling, people. It doesn't help. But the gambling has slowed down. It is not haven't lost, but haven't won anything. I'm stuck in limbo, so don't do it. It ain't worth it.
Hey, at least the Dragon Ball fans aren't allowed to gamble on when you think Super Anime is coming back because there would be a lot of people broke in 2019.
Yeah, for real. Now that should be something to gamble in general. I bet you can probably find that somewhere, but yeah, we ain't gonna get it. And so also yeah, never mind. We ain't gonna talk about gambling. Let's get talking about what everyone wants to talk about. That's chapter 89 came out. Funny enough, we're actually recording this on the 20th because we thought that it was coming out on the 20th, and we were mistaken. It came out on the 19th. So we apologize for being a day late for everyone listening, but well, let's just get started here real quick.
Those people didn't want to come into work on Friday. They said we're
Hey,
getting this out now.
it's I get it, but oh well. Well, it keeps us employed here, so let's get started. So this chapter is chapter 89. A rival appears is the title. Just a little quick refresher. End of chapter 88. Trunks and Goten basically decimated. I don't want to say even decimated. Doctor he Hidos, his little laboratory that he had, making all these zombie characters and all the other hoopla jazz, and they stole that disc that had sensitive information that he was working on, and that's where this starts. We see that Trunks is trying to break into the disc and see what's all on it, but he's unable to do so, and on his normal computer, I should say. But he decides that he's going to go and take it over to his mom's. Obviously, Bulma. I don't even think I even need to even say it like that. And he uses her computer that has more power to actually break into the disk, and he opens it up and he sees that there's blueprints for Cell, and of course this version of Trunks does not know of Cell, or at least doesn't know that these plans will become Cell. He's probably heard stories of Cell, but obviously he's never seen it. And then the disk creates a virus on Bulma's computer, and he freaks out. But Bulma comes in and is asking what Trunks is doing and if he broke her computer again, and blah blah blah. And she makes a remark that Trunks is more like Vegeta and that he has like no similarities to her. In which case, following Bulma is Bulma's daughter and Trunks' sister Bra, and she's, I don't know how old she is in here. She goes up, fixes the laptop, gets rid of that virus, and well, that little tidbit is done. Mai enters the panels here, and she is dressed to go to school because Bulma is like, "You need to go to school." Kind of looks weird that you're the same age as Trunks, and here you are working. So just Mai's going to school with Trunks. So they're going they're going to school, and everyone is paying attention to the new student, the new transfer student. And guys are drooling all over about Mai and whatnot. And Trunks just gets a little jealous. Of course, he likes Mai. Mai absolutely has no desire in Trunks, present Trunks. The future Trunks is a little different story, but present Trunks, she doesn't care at all. Well, after they introduce Mai to the class, a second student is introduced, and his name is um, Beta, but a little funny, not like the Greek letter Beta, but as you can probably take a guess, this is going to be another android of Dr. Hito's, and so you see that um, he enters the classroom, and some of the females in the class are, excited that a attractive male has come to the classroom. Typical high school stuff, I guess I would say. And um, the next screenshot goes to a gym class, and outside they're playing basketball. And Trunks is showing off a little bit more than what he normally would because he's trying to impress Mai. And some people are making remarks that he's doing fantastic today, and Trunks just says that he usually holds back. And yeah, but some of the other girls in the class, they're attracted to Trunks. They're supporting him during his game, but Mai obviously doesn't care. And out of nowhere, Beta comes up, steals the ball, and he basically embarrasses Trunks. Trunks tries to use his speed to, block a shot, but he gets finessed. He gets balled up. He should Beta should be on the Cleveland Cavaliers. Anyways, go check the score sheet for anyone listening to this on December 20th or January 20th. You'll get what I'm saying. Anyways, Beta shows up Trunks, makes him look stupid, and people are just kind of in shock that that occurred and whatnot. And Mai starts suspecting something with Beta, and the panel cuts over to where Dr. Hito is, and that he's observing everything through the eyes of Beta because, well, he's broadcasting everything he sees back to their hideout. And they see that Trunks is, very fast. And whenever they were playing basketball, and Dr. Hito wonders if he's the one who stole the disc, which obviously he was, but Android Alpha here and all the zombies that Dr. Hito created, they they don't know that it was Trunks because he was not in playing basketball. He's not Super Saiyan, but when he was fighting him, he was Super Saiyan to try to hide his identity. And they also make the joke that because they're rotting corpses, their brain is decomposing, and they can't remember if Trunks was the guy who robbed them or not.
Mm-hmm.
And then it just goes on that they keep looking around, and they're trying to find whom it could have actually been. Dr. Hito says that he wishes that he created or installed security cameras, but he believes that the individual attends the school that um, that stole the disc. So back in the classroom, Beta is sitting in front of Mai and Trunks, and Trunks believes that Mai has a thing for Beta, and he kind of calls her out on it, but she basically tells him to shut up and take a closer look at him because she can tell that he's not human by looking at the back of his neck. He's clearly an android because of a marking on his back, and they start to suspect that this android is there to just kind of cause trouble and whatnot. Well, Dr. Hito states or instructs Beta to try to lure out Trunks's, powers to
Mm-hmm.
get more info if maybe he was the one who stole it. And we kind of get some funny panels here. Beta throws a football at Trunks' head, but Trunks senses it and he pretends to tie his shoe, and the football bounces off a fire extinguisher and just extinguishes all of Beta. And it's just a funny scene. And then in the lunchroom, Trunks wants, extra soup, but he can't get it. And Beta pretends to, you know, accidentally like trip or not trip. He kind of tosses it over his shoulder at Trunks to try to burn him. But Trunks just catches all the soup in his own bowl, and yeah, the plan is foiled. And we get in the next scene, then Trunks and Beta are in front of a chalkboard doing math equations, and it is apparently a contest to who can get done faster. Beta being an android, he completes the task, you know, borderline instantly, and Trunks loses, and Trunks can't believe that he didn't even get a single question right, and that Beta was perfect. That was what his instructor actually said. And Dr. Hito takes this as a small victory. Not really one that's beneficial, but you know, just just a little poking fun at the situation here. And then after school happens, and Mai and Trunks are, they're walking back to Capsule Corp, and Trunks notices that Beta is just up to no good again. He's hiding behind a wooden, like, I don't want to say fence or anything like that. But again, he's just want to do something just to try to provoke Trunks, and Trunks is like, just give me a break here. And Beta notices that someone throws a baseball over across the yard from where they're at. There's a truck, like a normal utility truck, and the ball rolls underneath it. Will go 10, not thinking, goes over, and instead of actually just reaching under the truck to get the ball, he lifts the whole truck, uses his powers like an idiot. And Beta then assumes then Goten is the individual who stole the CD. So Beta actually then transforms into his superhero costume, and he is now going to fight Goten so that he can, get that disc back. And we see a kind of cool, there's a fun couple panels here where Beta's charging after Goten, and Goten's just, dodging and doing basic evasive maneuvers and all that stuff. And Goten's like, hey, let's not do this here at school. And Beta just keeps demanding that the disc gets returned. And Goten has no clue because Trunks is the one that stole it. And Trunks sees what's going on here. Of course, he's watching. And he knows that he needs to be the one that goes and steps in to kind of fight crime, as the whole theme of this little side quest is. And he tells Mai, who doesn't know that he is a superhero, the Saiyaman 1X, as they call it, or X1. My apologies. So he's like, "Hey, can you watch my bag? I gotta go to the restroom before we go home." So he ditches out, he transforms, and he jumps in between Goten and Beta, and they start fighting. And then the zombie androids remember that it was Trunks in his Saiyaman X1 costume that stole the disc. And Trunks hands Goten a wristband that will allow him to transform into his hero costume because he actually got it working that morning. So pretty good timing. And they're fighting Beta and Trunks, and Trunks throws him over into the football field, and they fight a little bit more there. And Mai suspects that she knows who Saiyaman X1 is, and yeah. So Dr. Hito, he's amazed by what he's seeing. He's seeing two superheroes fight and just go at it, and Beta uses a machine called Beta 2 to try to get the upper hand on Trunks, and it kind of just causes a distraction. He fires a missile at Trunks, and Trunks just takes that missile and throws it into the bay. And Dr. Hito can't believe that. I don't know why he can't believe that. He knows what his grandfather did. He's seen this stuff. Whatever. Anyways, but Trunks knocks Beta 1, who is inside of a giant android. Beta 2, he knocks him down on the ground close to Mai, and Mai falls over, and that bag that she was handed, it opens up, and the disc exposes itself. And Beta 1 notices that, and he realizes that, Mai has it. So he captures Mai, and he flies off. Beta 2 separates into an upper half in which he's controlling, and he flies away with Mai. and the bottom half in its rear end section, kind of funny, has just a whole bunch of missiles, and he uses the missiles to fire on the students and whatnot and distract Trunks. And at this time, Trunks doesn't react fast enough to save the students, probably because Mai's getting kidnapped. But Goten appears and saves all the students from the missiles there. And then while Goten handles that, he's like, "Hey, go save Mai." So Trunks uses a kind of like a whirlwind technique to destroy Beta 2's armored robot and whatnot, and he saves Mai. Now, this little part's a little interesting, maybe for future plot advancement, but as she's falling from the sky, Trunks saves her, and as Mai's opening up, like her eyes, she has a vision that she actually sees future Trunks saving her. And and as he puts her down on the ground, and then he goes and continues to fight and whatnot, they save the day, Goten and Trunks, and Mai has like an epiphany. She has like a realization of, as she says, quote, "It's like something or some long forgotten feeling just came back to her." So she, because this Mai did have a crush on Future Trunks. Now Future Mai obviously and Future Trunks were in a relationship, but this one had a feelings towards Future Trunks. Will that actually blossom into present Trunks? I guess we'll find out. But she still does not officially know that Sandman X1 was Trunks, but she is impressed by what he did. So it's just building for the future. It's just good world building per se. And Trunks is about to spill the beans and tell her that he's Sandman X1 because he wants the credit for saving her. He wants her to realize it was him and all the other stuff. So, but maybe another day at the moment, and we see that Veda returns back to the hideout, and Dr. Hito, you can see that he's frustrated, but he's actually also pretty happy of what he saw. That it was like real cool to see two superheroes fight each other, and he gets inspired to now create the next androids, which will be, I mean, if he's going in order, it's going to be Gamma 1 and Gamma 2, which he makes a remark that Goten's red cape was pretty cool for Sandman X2, and that's where he's going to start. So that's where Gamma 1 will get that red cape. I think Gamma 1 had the red cape. I think Gamma 2 had the blue. I don't remember. But yeah, that's it. That's all the chapter was. Pretty pretty quick, a little eventful and pretty funny, and for what this arc is, this mini arc, this side quest, I mean, that was enjoyable. I mean, you have to keep you have to understand what you're about to read to enjoy it. Like, it obviously none of this is really groundbreaking. The world's not in danger. This is just high school drama, but like what I said last chapter, it's nice and refreshing. Like, you agree, disagree?
No, I agree with it's refreshing. It's interesting because I'm starting to think this is piecing how Dr. Hito gets put in jail because at the start of the movie he's in jail.
Mm-hmm.
So is this how he gets put in jail? And I guess is putting him in jail going to be like saying that exit like Goten and Trunks superhero persona is like first big criminal in jail?
Yeah, that's what it will be. That, like what you said, they'll get him for the crime of digging up cemetery and dead body, like, and using them for his experiments. The kind of being like a Frankenstein kind of deal. That would probably be what sends him to jail. I just can't think of what else could happen that would put him in jail. Because I mean, stealing a disc that has information on Dr. Gero, I mean, maybe to someone that could be like illegal to have that kind of tech, but or info or research, but I don't know. That doesn't seem like what will be throwing him in jail. And like it would have to be the zombies, the zombie androids, because like they wouldn't have had zombie androids in the plot if I would think they would not have zombie androids to, you know, be his first inventions. If this guy is supposed to be way smarter than his grandfather, then I don't think his first androids would be decomposing people. It would actually be something that is more advanced than, Android 8. Now, I know that was Dr. Zero's eighth iteration, but like Android 8 was pretty primitive, per se. And I would think that Dr. Hito's, even his first attempt, would be stronger than that. Now, granted, it is funny to think about now that, Android 8 actually was Frankenstein,
Mm-hmm.
essentially.
Yeah.
So Frankenstein could be seen as a zombie kind of creature. So I guess there's some similarities there too. But
I'm also
well,
gonna say too, like with Trunks, with his new, I guess you want to call it dilemma, it's very common in like American comics where the love interest will like one personality and doesn't like the other.
mm-hmm.
So I find that very a homage to like the American comics that she's now smitten by the superhero persona of Trunks, but doesn't know that's the Trunks of the current timeline. Not also with this thing too. I think we've talked about it, bro. This relationship makes no sense. Like there's no reason for Trunks and Mai to ever be together, even in the future. Like people forget Mai's older than Goku.
Oh yeah, she's borderline like 50, 60 years old.
Like
Heck,
even
like pushing
future Trunks
70
is
for
an
all I know.
adult, but she's double his age.
Um, so I mean, it's really like it's smart for them in these times to make it that Mai doesn't give a shit about, teenage Trunks here, because that can get really awkward depending on like, I don't know, maybe where you are in the world. It's like, no, he's how old's Trunks?
The adult Trunks from like the
No,
future.
this one. I guess I don't know his age yet. This is like the first time that we've actually seen him in high school.
If
Because
he's high
like,
school, he has to be around. He looks older. He's probably 15.
yeah, I was gonna say, can he drive a car yet? I don't know if he can drive a car
He's
yet. So
probably he's probably 15 because by the because this is close to like the end of Z that him and Goten were like near close to adulthood, like age wise. Well, I'm assuming 15 because they were 7 and 8. They were 7 and 8 in the Boo saga.
yeah,
Yeah, 7 and 8. And then the end of Z was a 10-year time skip. So when at the tournament they're 17, 18. So yeah, they're probably like 15, 16 or 15, 14.
yeah,
Just doing that math. But no, it's refreshing, like you said, and like seeing the stuff which I'm like, okay, then you also get to see I know people have a field day about how this Trunks is significantly different than future Trunks. But you also see Bulma's daughter doing her thing. And I made that thing. I don't know if I ever said this off. I know I said this off recording, but I don't know if I said it on recording. That Dragon Ball Super messed that up because at the end of Z, Bulma's daughter, it looks like a preteen. She looks like 11, like,
yeah,
and Pan is like 5. But in Dragon Ball Super, Pan was born before Bulma's daughter. They completely messed that up.
yeah, yeah. They, yep. I got nothing. It's
Which at
true.
what at this child age, she's already smarter than her older brother that she got rid of the virus. I just wish Bulma would have saw that picture of like Cell. I wish I would have saw like the freak out.
For real. Like this arc would have taken a whole different turn though. Like it would have been way more serious in tone if Bulma got involved and actually saw it. So because she knows. I mean,
Yeah, it's
But
just it's interesting. I mean, it's also the first time we've seen like we saw Gohan play baseball, but a different sport in Dragon Ball, like actually seeing basketball being played.
I'm trying to I'm trying to think. But yeah, it was just yeah, we saw baseball and now we've seen basketball. I don't think we've seen any other sports, which have kind of I don't want to say shocked. I'm just kind of surprised that we haven't seen them like try to do more normal activities all throughout this entire series, this entire universal from Dragon Ball to Z to everything. So it is just kind of interesting to see them do normal things and just wonder how they cope with that or how they handle that because obviously let alone Trunks could destroy the planet, but like he could also destroy everyone at every single game of basketball apart
And
from the Z fighters. So
and you know it's funny too. We're talking about like homages to like old stuff. When Dr. Hito was talking, saying is that the person or whatever, and like his other people were saying, oh no, we had like gold hair. Like that's like a homage. So like when Gohan was in high school and he did the Golden Fighter, and everyone was trying to figure out who that is,
yeah,
specifically Videl, which then she obviously like once Gohan had to do it against Kibito, they found out he was the Golden Fighter. So just another homage thing to like when Gohan was in high school.
I wonder if because this Trunks, present Trunks, um, he has blue hair. I wonder
Mm-hmm.
if it's purple hair, like what Future Trunks did whenever he came back in time.
Mm-hmm.
I wonder if Dr. Helio would have known or like recognized that to be Trunks. Like,
Mm,
I'm just kind of curious on that because
that is interesting. But now, I mean, he has a picture of this Goten to Trunks Super Saiyaman X1, X2. Then he has a picture of Mai, but I mean, if the dude was at the school and he just overheard, he's like, "Oh, Mai works at Capsule Corp." So they're like, are they gonna try and invade Capsule Corp next?
mm, probably should. Oh yeah, I forgot to mention at the end of the chapter. Now that Beta's ran back, now they all know that Capsule Corp is involved, and Mai lives at Capsule Corp, and Sandman 1 and 2 probably have ties to him, but well,
Yeah, why is she the only one who has to go to school? Pilaf and little dog boy got made young too.
yeah, I got nothing because I honestly forget what the dog's name is, but like if you can have a dog be the mayor of the city when King Piccolo is like running havoc back at Dragon Ball, yeah, maybe he needs to go back to puppy school or something like that and enroll in classes too. And as for Pilaf, did he even go to school the first time? I mean, when you look like Garlic Jr., I mean, I don't think school system is really for you.
Mhm. That's true. But again, we can have, like you said, a dog be the mayor. But no, that's interesting. But Mitch, if you did not know, currently Crunchyroll, I'm pretty sure everyone who listens to this podcast and listens to all the other anime podcasts knows Crunchyroll is like the biggest anime thing out there where you can watch and all that stuff. They're doing their awards, doing their anime awards for stuff of 2022. And Dragon Ball Super has been nominated for two awards, nominated for Best Film and Best VA Performances in English.
Mm, I did not actually hear that. Best voice acting in English.
Yeah, English voice acting. Yep. And
Did
then,
what did the English voice actors do that was so?
oh, that's what it's.
I mean, like, don't get me wrong. I'm not saying like they were bad or anything. I don't know why they would have been recognized for anything like that. I don't
Yeah,
know.
Zeno Robinson was the one nominated.
Mm,
Who Zeno Robinson is. He plays Gamma. He actually is a pretty big voice actor. Dragon Ball. He plays Gamma 1.
mm.
Looks like he plays the Gam. Let's see. He voiced Gamma 2 in Dragon Ball Super. So his performance in Dragon Ball Super, and this guy's actually like he's legit because he actually won this award last year
No,
for his role in My Hero Academia as the English voice of one of the characters there, Hawks. So he's legit. And best film, I'm not surprised that it was nominated for that. It'll be interesting. There's some One Piece film Reds in there, Jujutsu Kaisen, Deer King, but I would think Dragon Ball Super Superhero can win that. But again, it's one of their biggest successes ever because they did not promote this movie at all, and obviously the money it made and the Rotten Tomatoes score, if you care about that stuff, all that stuff it was beyond expectations. So hopefully, I do hope they win that award.
rightfully so, and deservingly so. So it was pretty good year in terms of how the film panned out.
And then what you call it? Then the movie is supposed to come out in DVD this year. I think in March. March. You could already go on Crunchyroll and some other movie sites and start pre-ordering it if you want it on Blu-ray.
Hmm. Okay. There you go, everyone.
So besides that, Mitch, I don't think there's anything else. I know there's one thing that the community loves doing, and obviously I send them to you and they're just like, oh, who's stronger, this or that, and we have our discussion. But there's been one picture going around the super waves of just having a whole bunch of characters on here, and I know you've seen it, and it's like rank them from strongest to weakest.
Yeah. A tier,
And
a tier or a straight up rank.
I think it's just ranked from like one to I don't even know how many people are on. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. Looks like 13, 14. I'll probably have to have you count. But obviously the people on here is like Granola, Cellmax, Black Frieza, Moro, Broly, Gas, Super Saiyan Blue, Vegeta from Zamasu's arc, Jiren, Orange Piccolo, Beast Gohan, Beerus, UI
Yeah,
Goku
basically it's every strong person.
in universe.
Basically
Oh yeah, no,
after the tournament of power.
yes, that's a good way to say it. Yep. I don't
And
go Vegito. Vegito's before.
what I was going to say was every strong person from Jiren till now, including the two fusions of Vegito and Gogeta. So and
Yes.
now Gogeta's afterwards.
So I do want to actually have a list. I don't have it now, but I think for next month, where potentially this is almost going to be a yearly thing. Potentially next month will be another in-person one.
Oh next month because it'll be Cooper's birthday on the 20th, which that's what it says right now that the chapter's coming out of on the 20th.
Mm-hmm.
Actually, I don't know if you'll be here live in person because the 20th is the Monday.
That's true. Unless I mean, if I leave like after the chapter,
Well, I meant
then
like it was. Well, we'll figure it out
yeah.
though. But
But I will say, like when I was looking at the people, man, there was some like one and two are solidified for me. I mean, I got Beerus and Black Frieza, and then everything else is like I know there's some people who I have above other people, but then like just ranking them, like I have Gogeta Blue over Jiren and Broly and Orange Piccolo. I just do, but I don't think Vegito from the Zamasu arc, hot take, would beat Jiren or Broly. I actually think he's like second to last on this thing.
it's again.
Like I don't think Vegito Blue from the Zamasu arc would beat Jiren or Broly.
See, I this is what I hate about the power scaling for this because in just thinking about like fusion
Mm-hmm.
should beat everyone on this list. Maybe
It
even maybe even like Beerus because like how much stronger the character becomes when they're fused. Like you don't add their powers. they like exponentially increase. I mean,
Hmm.
like Kid Trunks and Kid Goten went Super Saiyan 1 and they fused and was able to go Super Saiyan 3 and fight Majin Buu to
Hmm.
par. Like like if Goku could even like just even tiptoe around Beerus at Super Saiyan God, I would think any fusion should put them literally on the same playing field as Beerus. And since I say Beerus is the strongest character um, of everyone shown in Dragon Ball thus far, other than Angels, then like even Vegito Blue in the Zamsu arc should be stronger than Moro or Gas or Granola. But no, you're right because power scaling is bullshit. And if you were in the previous arc, you are weaker than everyone in the current arc.
Yeah,
Like
yeah,
that's just how the logic of all of this has ever been. Even though, again, it's bullshit.
yeah. Because like from the picture, it's from like because it's from their art. Because obviously, like if they made Vegito now, it'd be mixed with UI and UE. If they make Gogeta now, it'd be mixed with that. But it's based off of it's the Gogeta from the movie. It's the Vegito from Samasu arc who he got shafted. By the way, those 2 seconds were not self. But then you got people like Moro, Granola Gas, like all those people. I know you even brought like Vegeta, like where you play like the middle is the hardest for me. My 1 and 2 are solidified. It's Beerus and Black Frieza. Like that's easy for me. It's just the middle.
You know, I'm gonna hype him up some more. Jiren should be the number one motherfucker in this entire list. And let me tell you why.
Jiren?
Jiren. Let me tell
Not
you why
over
Jiren.
Black Frieza,
He should be.
man.
He should be. And here, let me tell you why. Go and look at all of those people on there,
Hmm.
minus Beerus.
Hmm.
He's the only one that does not have a transformation or did not get a wish from a freaking dragon.
That's true. Yeah, looking
He
at all these people, yeah.
he is the one punch man of this universe. Like all he did was push-ups and sit-ups and he became stronger than almost all of these people. And the thing is he's a good guy. Like he's
Hmm.
not a bad guy. Like you think like he will fight all of these evil people and not fight the good people. Literally a definition of a good guy. Duh. But like what is Jiren doing right now? Because look, okay, okay,
Oh, your
Gohan,
favorite one.
yep, but Gohan's probably back to studying, or he's probably writing a research paper on how butterflies freaking uh, float around in the sky. Goku and Vegeta, their training is worthless. Like it really is. Broly's an interesting piece because he has shown in the movie that even Beerus is, I don't want to say scared of like Broly. Like I think if Beerus fought Broly, he would win that fight. But obviously he's scared because Broly cannot control his power and he's just going to destroy shit. And Beerus is probably like, I don't want to have to deal with that. But I mean, Moro had to absorb people. Now Frieza trained, but Frieza has transformations. I mean, base Frieza. Here's a question there for you: what is base Frieza at right now? Because base Frieza killed Gas. No,
That's actually that's a very good thing because Base Frieza himself is stronger. I would say he's stronger than all the people on here besides Beerus. Yeah, like trying to because that's why I need a month to really like think about this because I know you're gonna have Jiren like up pretty high. I know it's gonna piss some people off because obviously since 2000 and when did Dragon Ball Super come out? 2018. The movie came out 2019 or was it 2018? No, 2018.
uh, I honestly don't remember if it was
Ever
18 or
since
19.
ever since Broly got rebranded from an evil psychopath to a sympathetic figure, obviously his potential is insane because he was only fighting weak ass Paragus. No disrespect, you were weak. And then in 2 seconds, he was able to swap blows with a fusion. So I know the Broly versus Jiren debate is there, and like you said, it's the power. Like unless it's definitive, like obviously like power scaling stuff. Because I know during the moral arc, me and you were even having discussions like, is Moro is he stronger than Jiren, or is it just like is it just his magic stuff? Is Gas really that stronger than Jiren? Like is Granola really that strong? Like we were having those stuff because your favorite thing, we don't know what Jiren's doing right now. We have to base him off of end of tournament of power, which discredits him because I think he's a lot stronger now, but we just have no proof.
I just can't sit here and try to logically like this is just based on logic that before the tournament of power, Jiren lost everything, and then all he did was respond by getting stronger than everyone, and that included Super Saiyan Blue times 20 Kaioken. Like
Mhm.
Jiren fought five of the strongest people in, was it five? Goku, Vegeta, Frieza, and 18, 17. I think just four. Yeah, anyways. He took on four of the strongest people all at the same time. You know what I mean? And he just decimated them all. I mean, but like to think that he didn't go back to Universe 11 after he was erased by a god. Like, there's no way I would think that he would just sit there. And as I've said on other podcasts, he just became an Avengers Endgame Fat Thor. Well, no, he is. I guarantee that he is getting stronger and that he wants to be the best, unless Toritaro and Toriyama do not share that logic since they actually have to put pen to paper.
Well, yeah, because obviously what we saw him, he was at that time. You take away Master and Ultra Instinct where Goku got it. He was the strongest mortal in the multiverse. He was, and
The ones that
then
were at the Tournament of Power.
yes, that's true because we don't know about the other
Well,
universes.
well he was the strongest known mortal
Yes,
like that we had seen.
yeah, and then we've seen other people just have exponential jumps because they're obviously the main characters. Like Goku could do UI at will, Vegeta UE. Like obviously, there's some people here I would definitively say I don't think he's stronger than. Like he ain't stronger than Gogeta Blue. That's a no, no, no. I'm
Well, it helped that in super in Heroes, he said like why did like at the end of Fighting Hearts, he said why didn't you guys fuse in the Tournament of Power to beat me essentially.
mhm.
So taking that into consideration, and again, I know you can't crisscross these things because logically you're just going to melt your
uh
brain
you.
into
I
its
mean,
pudding.
in Heroes had that, and also when Hearts and them were trying to read Hit's mind, like who's the strongest mortal in the multiverse, and Hit's thing, and Hit didn't even see Goku go full UI and all that stuff and
Mm-hmm.
all that jazz, and he said Jiren, and he's basing off because Hit was out halftime of the tournament, and he said
Yeah.
Jiren, so which is
Yeah.
also funny too how because I do like this picture because I do think these are outside of Angels, these are the strongest people I've seen in Dragon Ball Super.
Mm-hmm.
Like Topo's not on it, Kefla's not on it, Hit's not on it, like all the Anilan, all of them. Like I do think these are. This is why this is such a good thing. I'll maybe post it out on the L7C stuff, but like it's a very interesting thing.
Yeah.
But
It's just, like I'm looking,
that's for next month.
yeah, I'm just looking at this photo, and every time I look at someone, I'm like, I don't have a problem with anybody being stronger than someone else. Like
Mm-hmm.
I don't need Goku to be the hero that solves all the problems, and Vegeta to be the Robin to this whole thing. I don't have
Mm-hmm.
a problem with Gohan being stronger. Like at the end of all this, like if
I
Gohan
think
was the
Gohan
strong,
beats Vegeta right now.
yes,
I'm hot take might be hot take. I think Beast Gohan. I think he beats you, Vegeta. I really do.
like yeah, in terms of how this is all set up, yeah, Gohan should yeah, it should be Beerus, Frieza, and then with just how this series goes, Gohan should be the um I don't know. Gohan or Goku should be, 3 and 4.
Can I
And
even? I
then
mean, if we're gonna be truly accurate, that picture doesn't even. This is terrible. That picture doesn't have Goku's best UI form. Remember, we have True Ultra Instinct now.
ugh, whatever.
If we're
And,
being truly accurate, but this is
and then probably Broly. And then,
wait, not over
like,
Gogeta.
hmm?
You would have Broly over Gogeta?
Oh, I don't want to count the fusions because
Oh, so you're
honestly,
doing it without the future. Okay,
yeah,
okay.
my apologies. Yeah, it just if I had it my way, this is how it would go. Beerus 1, Gogeta or Vegito 2 and 3, and then no, Beerus, Frieza next. So Frieza would be 4, and I don't know if I would put Goku or Broly next. I want to say Goku just because of what MUI should be. And then Broly, and then Gohan. Actually, no. I'm going to put Goku first, and then Jiren or Broly. One of those two. That's who I think it should be there in that spot. And then the follow that then would be Gohan, and then Gas and Granola. And like then what? Selma or Moro. Well, okay, I wouldn't know where between Moro and Cell Max would go,
Mhm.
but Piccolo should be the last one on there, I
I
think.
agree. I agree. Which some
And now
people
the
are.
thing is that I do understand that some people might even be listening to this and be like, "Hey, Mitch, why are you an idiot? Why are you putting people like why are you putting, let's say, Broly in front of Gas and um yeah, why are you putting Broly in front of Gas? Because Gas's wish was to be the strongest in the universe. Fair, fair. You can if you wanted to flip flop those, it's just Broly's like
His
I don't
potential
know.
is absurd.
It's absurd because that's the thing is when Gas's wish was made, Broly was on his planet.
Hmm.
Now, if you were like saying was Broly on Beerus's planet, like that is obviously in Universe 7 and not in between the realms. So I don't know. I feel like if Broly was fighting all these people, he would stomp a lot of them. And just
Hmm.
because you're the strongest in Universe 7, that's why that wish was worded like that. You were the strongest in that universe. So that's why I have no problem putting Jiren in front of Gas.
Gotcha. Yeah, well, definitely will definitely will have to get that list ready so we can have it next month, especially with these chapters being shortened to the point. And now you'll have a preview for next month. Besides the chapter, we're gonna have our list of these, and then I might have two because I do like your thing of excluding the fusion, so I'll have it with them and without them.
Sounds
And
like a
yeah,
plan.
Mitch, anything else?
Nope, that's it for me.
All right. With that being said, thank you everyone for listening to the L7C podcast. Dragon Ball Super Manga Chapter 89 is out. Make sure you go read that. Number 90 is coming out on February 20th. If you haven't voted for Dragon Ball Super for the Anime Awards for Crunchyroll, make sure you do that. And I'm going to post a picture when this episode comes out. I'll post it on the Facebook. I'll even get for the next episode, if you listen on Spotify, I'll have you guys rank them and then tell us how you all put on our community page on YouTube as well. So that I just want to hear what you guys think.